Remember, it was just last year when the President of the United States said that the world has never been safer. And that's why, you know, the rise of ISIS, everything else. And people thought, okay, what's he talking about? And then on Wednesday, Secretary of State John Kerry was in front of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, and he said this about the state of terror.
Our citizens, our world today is actually, despite ISIL, despite the visible killings that you see and how horrific they are, we are actually living in a period of less daily threat to Americans and to people in the world than normally, less deaths, less violent deaths today than through the last century.
Really?
Yeah, sounds more like the Secretary of the State of Denial. And apparently, you know, according to many, he may not be reading intelligence reports, because the director of the National Intelligence right here, James Clapper, says this.
In 2013, just over 11,500 terrorist attacks worldwide killed approximately 22,000 people. Preliminary data for the first 9 months of 2014 reflects nearly 13,000 attacks, which killed 31,000 people. When the final accounting is done, 2014 will have been the most lethal year for global terrorism in the 45 years such data has been compiled. I will say, as I've said every year, this will be the 5th year that in my 50-plus years in the intelligence business, I don't know of a time that has been more beset by challenges and crises around the world. I worry a lot about the safety and security of this country for a lot of reasons.
Right. And he should, because he's the National Intelligence Director, and he must realize a few months ago when the president was giving an interview, he basically said, yeah, my intelligence division really let us down there when they underestimated ISIS, and that's why he called them the JV team. So I think Clapper goes out there and says it is dangerous. No one's going to deny it. I don't care what the Secretary of State says. I've had a great career, and I'm not going to screw it up and get thrown under the bus again. That's the only thing I could assume, because it seems as though James Clapper is on the same page with the Lieutenant General Michael Flynn, who also came out forward and said, I guess Secretary of State Kerry is not reading his threat assessment because Clapper's on the money.
So it's great.
Former Director of Defense under this administration, by the way. He was nominated under this administration.
So if you're going to diagram what has happened, you had the President of the United States throw James Clapper under the bus, and then James Clapper just threw Secretary of State John Kerry and the administration under the bus, saying that stuff about us being safe, not true.
By the way, it's all about us. We don't care about their careers. We just like to know what's going on here, and we are. It's not the 24-hour news cycle. It's not if it leads, it bleeds. There's a problem.
Let me ask you this. Who do you believe? Do you believe Secretary of State John Kerry saying, oh, no, this is safe, we're super safe? Or do you believe what we just heard from James Clapper, from intelligence, saying this will be the most lethal year for global terrorism based on numbers?
I think you got to believe the guy who won the Nobel Prize for Peace, don't you?
Right. Yes, he did that by being...
What do you think? Email us and Facebook us and tweet us.